All right. Well, nothing to but to do it. Welcome back to Beyond the Film podcast, everybody. Let's get a round of applause. Yay! Alrighty. And I am your host, Meadow, and our co-host is
Rose.
Rosie girl.
What up?
Our ongoing theme. So today we are talking about Howard the Duck.
Quack, quack.
Quack, 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 whack. Quackity whackity. That's what it was for me. Oh my goodness. So, what was your first impression when the ball started getting rolling?
Right.
Okay, we're entering the first scenes. We're first being introduced to Howard.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about him?
So first I was like, okay, this is definitely
Do we have a time?
pause.
Pause on that first impression.
Okay, when I first started going, I was like, oh, this is definitely like a 1900s movie. Like this,
Not the 1900s. I feel like that sounds so old. Because
I was gonna say the 90s, but it's not the 90s. It's the 80s.
It's the 80s.
But like the stereotypes that movies now have for like old movies, they're all correct because they were all in that film. Like the intro music, I was like, here we go. We're getting started. But this is also like the first 80s movie I've ever watched.
Mm-hmm. Same. And honestly, once I finished it, I was like,
Maybe the last.
I was actually kind of thinking maybe I would want to watch some more.
Oh!
Side note, I don't know if this information is really important for us, but I feel inclined to write it down when I do this. But yes, it was directed by Willard Huyck. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Sorry, Mr. Willard, if that's not how you say your name. Then we got Lee Thompson. She played Beverly. We got Tim Robbins, who played Phil. I refer to him as Intern Man in here a lot because I did not know his name. At first, I thought it was Bill, and then it was Phil. And
who are you talking about?
The guy who they took Howard to go see
the scientist,
quote unquote.
Right.
That's why I call him the intern.
Yeah, I don't know his name either.
Exactly, intern. And then we got Dr. Jennings, who I definitely referred to as Mr. Dr. Man at one point because I didn't know his name either.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were various actors for Howard. When I saw that in the cast, I was like,
Yeah, I'm very curious how they filmed it. Like, if they just got short people or if they got, like, an animatronic to do it. Because, like, my biggest pet peeve, when he was talking, his mouth did not match his words, and it was so annoying. I hate when that happens. And yeah, so it looked kind of animatronic, but also it was giving like kind of like Chuck E. Cheese like costume vibes.
Yes, I agree, and I touched on that a little bit later, but because like no, it's okay. Because I was just saying like I do kind of enjoy the fact that they use this puppet like situation versus just like trying to only do CGI.
It would have sucked.
Yeah, it definitely would suck with like their then CGI. Like when we saw their CGI in action towards the end.
Yeah, that was trash.
I was like, definitely an older movie. But like, I don't know, it was kind of entertaining to see the bad CGI and the puppets. It made the whole piece a thing. But yeah, so basically, first impression right away. Yep, this is an old movie.
This is an old film. I thought he was going to be a duck in the human world. So when I was seeing other ducks in the beginning, I was like, what is going on? Yeah, where are we right now? So
now, see, before I watched the movie, I read the description to see what it was going to be about. So I did know that we were going to be starting off in Duck World. I think that may be what they call it. Yeah. I think that Duck World.
Dearth.
See
what I did there?
Yeah. Quarth. Like a quack. I don't know. I didn't really like how that sounded.
It was good. I liked it.
Well, thanks, girl. Okay. But yes, with my first impression, I definitely noticed the music and the low lighting. And instead of correlating that to the age of the film, I correlated to like what that may mean for Howard. And I was like, maybe he's like a sad person. Like
maybe he's lonely.
Yeah, like got this really deep, heavy music playing, and he's just like he's getting home. He's not turning the lights on. He's grabbing some beer from the fridge and he's sitting down, turning on TV, and he's listening to voicemails talking about people. Come see me, Howie. Come see me.
That was crazy.
Like, dang, got the ladies, I guess.
Yeah.
Touching on that, this movie was very like sexually provocative.
Bro, this movie is rated PG.
I touched on that when I wrapped up my closing thoughts. I'm like, PG must have been something different back in 1986.
PG was out the window the first minutes of the film.
First of all, when he was getting ready to get transported to Earth, he was words. I can't even. Roy was flipping through a Playboy.
Play duck.
A play duck. Play duck bunny? Like, question mark? That's
or
so
was
strange.
It Playboy
Ducky?
I don't remember. Yeah.
Me neither. Yeah, then once he was going through all the wind
that was a good scene though, like beforehand. Like with the Playboy and then
the shaking
and you're like, what are you doing, Howard? Earthquake.
Right, sure, that's the only thing that we got shaking around, right? And yeah, so he was going through all the walls and then baby girl is in her bathtub,
no top on.
I mean, like, of course you're naked in the bathtub, however, for this to be PG, I'm thinking she's gonna be in the bathtub, suds covering up her body
on a duck. Like they sexualize the duck.
Yes, they've been sexualizing the duck the whole movie. I was like, wow, this is interesting and kind of disturbing. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, goodness gracious. But because when we were going, when I looked at the description, I looked up the movie, I was like, oh, PG, interesting. Okay, so this is going to be like a kind of kitty puppet movie. No. When they started talking about like the jock crotch or whatever, he started touching himself, I'm like, bro, what? I thought this was PG. Then when I started seeing nipples, I was like, oh, interesting. All right.
Yeah.
But once that whole little introduction climax got over, and we had this random old narrator who did not come back, was like introducing space and like Howard the Duck, and I was like, that's very on brand for Marvel to like be talking about this such expansive universe, and we're not alone, and there's all these different possibilities and all these different Earths that are in our wildest possibilities.
I also think another thing with this film, they use a lot of like cliche like phrases or whatever. Like in the beginning of time. Oh, that's from Star Wars. I'm pretty sure. Please don't attack me. And there's like two other that they use too, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing? What were the writers doing?
Dude, that was the thing back in the day. Okay,
I don't know.
It wasn't their cliche back then. It was the vibe. All right, we're gonna be doing things now that are gonna be our trend that people later on are gonna be like, oh, so cliche. Can't believe. You see anybody doing the Dougie anymore?
All the time.
Oh, because right, you be out partying. They do that out there? That's crazy. You're silly. But no, literally, bro. Okay, so once he got into the real world, into Earth, into our reality, I was like, I think that it's really cool how they made it intentional to make him seem normal size in his world, but then once he got to our world, he was so much smaller. Like he would be manhandled and thrown around. But like,
I didn't even realize that. Yeah, I guess I wasn't paying attention to that in the beginning, but I mean, it makes sense. I was mostly just confused in the beginning.
I was just about to say, like, what were the things you were paying attention to?
I was like, why are there ducks everywhere? What is going on?
What the quack is happening right now? Like, WTF? And so once he was, going through the world, experiencing humans for the first time, first of all, my question is, how was he not like freaked the frick out about what was going on here? Do they not have humans in his world to like some kind of extent? Like, I don't know, animals or pets or something? Like, I was kind of thinking maybe it would be a reverse and there's wild humans and like now these humans are talking and walking, or has he just like never seen these kind of creatures before? I'm thinking more so the latter.
Well, if you think about it, like when they were explaining the evolution thing, I don't think humans evolved. I think we're just monkeys over there.
Yeah.
So it's like we're a whole different species to him. I
thought it was interesting that
I can't believe I watched this movie this morning. I don't remember that beginning part of like how he was reacting and stuff like that.
You're just confused.
I think I tuned in once he started fighting the people for Homegirl. Like, this movie was something the whole time. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, this movie definitely was something. But when the girly pop came around and the guys were trying to get all up in her case, you know, classic savior moment right here for the main character. And I was like, knew he was gonna be some type of noble man.
I need a
hero. Always has to be a damsel and a knight in a red suit. I don't know. Maybe that'll be the title to our video. The knight in the red suit. He's not a knight. Man is crazy.
Duck in a red suit.
Duck in the red suit. But back to what I had just said a little bit ago, I thought it was interesting how they can be communicating with each other. Like
English?
Yeah. You know, for the movie's sake, of course, like, Hollywood, whatever. I'm like, that's interesting. Like, I guess.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of, like, scientific holes they could have, like, pushed in there when they met up with the scientists.
But instead, they're just... We'll get into that once we get to that part. Well, we already talked about how, CGI, and I thought it was honestly kind of creepy. The costumes, the duck, and like the eyes kind of creep me out, and I think it's because like it resembles like Chuck E. Cheese and like Five Nights at Freddy so much. I'm just like looking in those eyes, and I'm like, ooh.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I remember in one scene it looked like his hands were gloves. Yeah. So I feel like it was like
someone in there.
Yeah, I feel like it was a costume, and then like the head was like animatronic Chuck E. Cheese.
So I think that
then they had like someone controlling like the beak.
Like I think they had someone short in the suit, had the helmet on, and then possibly just like doing the actions, and maybe there was a voice actor afterwards, because like there should be no reason why there were so many people listed as Howard the Duck in the credits. I should have paid attention to the actual movie credits, but I just looked at the Google cast. So
I mean, one of it did say voice actor. Okay. For Howard.
All right.
Yeah. Also, quickly, I just remember this.
Yeah.
His middle name is The.
No, literally, when I saw that on his mail, it was like Howard T. Duck, and I'm like, so is everybody just somebody the duck?
I guess so. Or the goose. The swan.
Geese? Oh, do you think that there's other evolved birds on this planet?
Maybe.
Maybe they just birds.
Didn't dive into that. Like he didn't ask any of those.
No.
I'm sorry. Jumping ahead.
No, like he didn't though. It was just a lot of focus on I want to get home. I'm not here to be your science experiment.
No, like the scientist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He
was just talking about evolution stuff.
Evolution and getting Nobel Prizes.
Yeah.
Like, bro, shut up.
Ask the hard hitting questions here. What are you doing?
Not science. Intern. Goodness gracious. Okay, but once he got through that whole thing with the girly pop, and he's like, this is not doing anything for me. Like, I'm not learning anything from this scientist man. Basically found out he's just a janitor intern that's not doing nothing for nobody. He's like, I'm gonna go my own way. Then he's like, I need a job. And then he goes to the place, and I'm like, wow, another example of this black guidance, this black mystical knowledge. Like, that was so random. I feel like there were lots of little like black caricature kind of like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but something was off about
with her character or like in the film.
No, not her character specifically, but like just in the film in general, there were multiple like black characters that kind of stood out and did like just kind of
probably
like what was the point of this?
I believe this was the 80s.
Yes, and I'm just like, see, I said I was scared it was gonna be racist.
Also, Stan didn't create this character, so
yeah,
some guy named Steve.
Steve and Will or something. Yeah,
loser.
Like a smoking duck that wants to freak on the ladies. The ladies want to freak on him back. Like what? Confused, concerned, all of the above. Like this is borderline bestiality in this movie, and I don't like it. For it to be PG, borderline bestiality, are you crazy? What kind of parental guidance are you?
I definitely think restrictions were a lot looser back then.
Loosey goosey,
loosey
doocy, lucky ducky. Good for them.
Lucky ducky. But the job she gave him. Bro, where were they? Where was he?
He was at some kind of sex shop, okay? A sex sweatshop. Or just like open for freaks year round. Bro, it was like some kind of freaky sauna. There were hot tubs and like sex rooms, and everyone was just freaking around.
Don't mind me.
Just orgying it up in here. I mean, like, hey, as long as it's consensual and it's of age, we don't kink shame. All right? Bestiality is not included in that because that animal cannot consent. No.
What? This podcast is not rated PG this episode.
Blame Howard, the duck, okay?
I blame Steve.
Not Stan. Steve.
Dan didn't even make an appearance.
But once he got his senses together and was like, maybe I shouldn't like run off the only person who's been kind to me in this whole world since I've been here. And he hears her singing in the bar. I was like, wow, this is like a classic, cold-hearted, what did I say? No, I said tough-hearted, cold soul main character, right? Just turning soft for this one love interest, like. And then I'm like, wait, interspecies love? ?
One, they definitely hit on like the like couple tropes really quickly. Like the I don't need you. That was like 30 minutes into the movie.
Like,
I'm like, what is going on here?
I'm just like,
you just met today. Relax. Chill. And then 2, I was like, B movie ? That's all I have to say. If you haven't seen the B movie, I guess go watch it if you want.
It's basically this, but like actual PG.
With cartoons.
Yeah. Jesus. So, after, the whole bar fight scene, he's like, I got space rabies. Give me the money for the people. Like, that was all cute. Savior trope, whatever. But then they get backstage and they're giving each other. First of all, he's all slutty with his shirt slightly unbuttoned and his chest feathers out. I'm like, okay. And then she's calling him Ducky, flirting, giving him sexy eyes, talking about, oh, you got a place to stay tonight. And they're looking at each other. I'm like, bro, please don't do this to me. And I got so scared when they was back at the crib, and I was like, are you serious right now? But before that, when he was playing around on the piano and I'm seeing him in his little pajamas and his robe with the tail out, I'm like, where did he get these clothes from?
Her.
But where did she get these clothes from? She just got little boy clothes running around?
I guess.
We need to keep an eye out for her. Not only does she like to freak on little ducks, she likes to have little boy clothes in her closet. I don't trust Beverly. Don't like it.
That scene did scare me though, because like, is this gonna turn into a musical right now?
Okay,
what is going
I was
on?
like, there we have already had so many twists and turns. WTF? But then it didn't go that route. No,
it went a different route. Instead of going this way, it went that way.
It did not go straight down the line we thought. We couldn't even think.
There wasn't a line.
No, just about to say that. Oh man. But when no, go ahead.
So he's also like all flirt and like no action.
No, for real, because when
she was about it,
he was like, wait, no, I wasn't about it. Yeah, I just can't, like, baby girl, wait. No,
that's why he didn't call that girl back on the answering machine. Because he's all flirt,
right? All big game, because he probably can't throw it down. You know, D game is probably whack because he a fake freak.
D for duck.
With an I. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, his duck game is weak.
Whack.
Whack. Oh, goodness gracious. And then, like, this girl has, like, literally no survival skills. Because if you literally just got attacked in the alley a couple nights ago, why are you leaving your door unlocked for people to just be able to walk in?
I was like, where did they come from? How did they get into her place? And she just all casual, like,
me and my panties out with no bra.
Yeah, that's what she was afraid of. Not two strangers in her house.
She's like, it's not what you look like. We're just friends, even though we just were kissing on the mouth. You saw us kissing in the mouth.
Also, who goes to bed in underwear with someone you just met?
Oh, because he's a duck. He's so harmless. He's ducky. So, like, let me get in bed with my slutty little crop top and my panties on. Like, I see what you're doing, girl. Bestiality is not okay, though. It'd be different
if he was a real duck. Quack, quack.
Right, you just want to cuddle him, and this is just how you sleep normally. But no, that is a man. That is a duck man.
Man duck.
Man duck. Manned up with his duck. Like, she saw the condom in the wallet. Like, she know what he be on.
That was so gross. Why are you picking this? Why is it unwrapped?
I was just thinking that.
And why are you touching it?
She's like, Howie.
I feel like ew, disgusting. Like, I need to burn my hand. Because what? Unwrapped. Oh my god.
Like, gross. Come on, bro. And then, like, not to mention, your wallet is dirty. So when you put that thing on, it's gonna be dirty.
He's not gonna use it. He's all flirt.
Right. He just uses to, like, flash the girls, like, hey,
I'm ready if you are.
No. What if it's about, because, like, do you know how ducks reproduce?
No.
They, like, shoot their penis into the lady and, like, it just breaks off. So maybe that's why he's scared.
Did they grow another one?
Yeah.
Oh. Interesting. I didn't know they could regrow parts like a starfish.
Gotta keep making babies.
Or one and done.
Maybe. Goodness gracious. But when they came and they were talking to him about, like, yeah, I know how you got here and this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, I don't know. Something feels off about this Mr. Doctor Man. Like, I don't really trust him that much. Like, something feels astray. And I feel like this also could be influenced by the fact that I've seen this actor in other movies and he played the bad guy in other movies. So I'm just like,
can't trust him.
Exactly.
That's how I feel with damn, what is his name?
Robert Downey Jr.
No. Have you seen Euphoria? Nate, his actor,
right?
He only plays bad guys.
Right. He played Elvis. He played Nate.
Like, I can't trust this man in real life. He's
gonna
try to attack me. Just kidding. You should separate the actor from the characters.
Right. But when they got to the facility and they were in the area with, like, the ray gun that was shooting out and stuff, I was like, this looks very similar to the SHIELD facility. Like, when they are in Avengers and spoiler, when we're in Avengers and it's like the first couple scenes and Hawkeye is up in the area, like watching the area, watching the Tesseract. They got the Tesseract going, and then like baby boy comes through the Tesseract, boom bang bow. Remember that scene? Nah, she don't. Do you remember me?
I was gonna say I will when we watch it again.
Watch it, so I will just make sure
in
to
like
this up.
4 movies. Anyways,
right. Anyway, right. So when the police got there, because of the explosion, and all
also
that jazz, yes.
I was so confused because I thought they were all arriving at the same time. Like I thought they were driving together.
Me too.
So how did Homeboy get there first? Figure out the whole machine.
Figure out the whole machine
thing. It goes wrong, and then they're pulling up.
They're like, "Where's the guard?" I'm like, "Where's the doctor?" That's what I want to know. Plot holes. There has definitely lots of plot holes in here.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That scene confused me a lot. I was like, "What is going on?" Because when he was like, "No guard," I was like, "Okay, something's happening.
Something's definitely off."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at first I thought he like got transported to
me too, because they were like,
world.
Different. He disappeared.
Yeah, but then I was also like, there's so much left of this movie. What else could possibly once I got to this point, I was like, what is the point of this movie?
Like, what else is happening? And then I had to constantly remind myself that this is just like a one-off movie. Like, this is not supposed to necessarily mean anything to the MCU. It's not necessarily supposed to like be some kind of beautiful breakthrough. Like, it's just like a fuck around movie. Like, it's just,
what's the purpose of this? Like, what's going on?
I don't know. I definitely had to keep reminding myself that this must have been just for like shits and giggles, because I can't take this too. You can't say that. I can't take this too seriously. Like, I have to just. This has to just be for fun. And there was definitely not a lot of like in depth thoughts. Like, oh my goodness, they made the lighting go like this. Like, because there wasn't that much thought put into that. They were just kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
Okay, but before we get too far, about once everything was settled down and the police got there, randomly, I thought it was very interesting. Like, Marvel always kind of makes it a point to make the police and the government like enemy number one to the main character.
Coincidentally,
interesting. And then that confuses me on Marvel's stance, because I'm like, okay, you do this in all of your movies going back to the 80s, but like you make weird black jokes. Like, what's your stance? I'm confused. All right. And touching on the age of this movie once again, when Dr. Mann was driving in the car,
first of all, why was he driving?
I'm guessing because it's his car, but then I just don't understand if he just kept saying like, feels like something's transforming inside of me. Why did no one was like, okay, Doc, maybe you should get from behind the wheel? Like, he kept driving and he was going fast at that. I'm just like, why hasn't someone said?
And far. They drove far.
They did drive far. I'm like, bro, but what's going on?
Even off the jump, when they were still in the laboratory, they're like, we need to get this guy some help. Why would you let him get behind the wheel?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Obviously, this lady does not have a lot of common sense. But then for Howard, sir, you were getting your doctorate. Like, you were going to school to become a doctor.
I mean, he can't drive. His feet can't reach the pedals.
Right, but he could have, suggested something. Used his brain. Obviously.
I mean, he wasn't using that doctorate.
I was just saying something of the same nature, but I decided to keep it in my cranky thing. But,
I like that.
Howard, words. Yes. Like I was saying, touching on the age of the movie, like, he made a joke about a sex change. And I was like,
He did?
Yeah. He said something like switching like a sex change. And I was like, huh. Definitely could tell this is very unfiltered. Unfiltered, not PG-13. This is an R-rated movie. Not even gonna lie. I feel like we don't.
Our boobs are rated. Yeah, I don't know if I think so.
I feel like nipples. Yeah, boobs, nipples. We don't do a lot of nudity here in America, and I think that that's very interesting considering the fact that we do like lots of explosions and death and like blood at PG-13, but we don't do nudity.
It's it's like nudity and the F-bomb. Like you can only say it 2 or 3 times before it's rated R. That's why you never hear them saying the F word in Marvel.
Except for in Guardians of the Galaxy.
But they only said it once.
Spoiler.
They say the F-bomb in Guardians. Huge spoiler.
Huge spoiler. Okay. You're at the movies.
That's it was so dramatic too, yeah.
It was.
And
F-him. I meant to do this.
Oh, so you gotta blur that out.
F him.
Loser.
All right. Yeah. Anyways, when they're sitting in the diner, they get into the diner. Well, first of all, why did they buy the whole, oh, I'm a seeing duck? Baby, why did the seeing duck just talk to me? I think that the whole, the citizens of Earth in these Marvel universes, they take aliens very well. They're just like, hey, you're talking duck, whatever. Well, just tip me, okay?
I feel like they, in this film, the people who took it well, in their brain, they were making it as, oh, this is a kid in a costume. So yes. They want to find a reason to be okay with it instead of freaking out. Because the other people on the street, they were freaking out and like screaming and stuff. So I feel like for the citizens of the Earth, there's like only 2 options instead of like reality.
Right.
Yeah.
Side note on that, the fact that those police were harassing, like, yeah, get this clown out the suit, and
harassment. I literally wrote harassment. I'm glad he still had shorts on. Cause I was like,
no, for real. But I know that they was feeling all up on those jewels. That's messed up.
And illegal. If that was a person,
like, come on, bro. Yeah, Marvel, what's your thing with the police? Like, I feel like, I wonder, I don't know. Like, did somebody's...
We need to call up Kev.
I want to know your agenda.
Kevin, if you're watching this,
tell us.
Hit our DMs.
Okay, we want to.
That sounds so weird.
Yeah, you know.
Poor grown man.
Hit us up in our DMs, Kevin. Okay, we would like you on the podcast.
Meet up, even off camera.
Right.
We will sign an NDA.
We just want to know what your thing is with the police.
We won't tell anyone. Just each other.
Thanks. All right, so table scene in the diner. Why is he spilling all the tea? The Dark Lord is just like, yeah, here's my exact plan. This is what I'm gonna do. Here's the key out of my pocket so I could do everything.
That's what villain. That just literally reminded me of Phineas and Ferb with Perry the Platypus and how Dr. Stupid's like, why are my plans never working when he goes through like his whole plan and Perry's just sitting there taking it and then boom. That's the stereotype of what villains do. That's how they don't win, because they take the time and explain what they're doing.
If you just started killing everybody and then, talk over their dead bodies, pray to their soul, then
winner,
can't stop you.
Winner, duck dinner.
Yep. But also, before I knew what kind of restaurant this was, I was like, what is going on with their headbands? This is culturally appropriative. I don't like this at all. They have I would describe it as like a Japanese style art, like on their headbands. Yeah.
It's a sushi restaurant.
Yes. And once I saw the Asian man in the back, like sharpening the knives and stuff, getting ready to chop, I was like, okay, Now, is this just a cook though? Is this the owner? Because like, why would the owner be there at nighttime? No, I'm just like, still kind of giving me vibes because this is in the 80s. The restaurant is full of white people, and there's only one Asian man. I think a white man owns this establishment.
Yes.
Yeah, I would feel like it's safe to say. Another thing about black people though, when they get him in the back and they tie him up, Howard, not a black person.
Thank you for the clarification.
Like, why was there a black hand, the first one, throwing seasonings on him? Like, come on, bro.
Because we know how to do it.
But he was using like chopped up lettuce. Like, I was like, I don't know what kind of herb this is, but it don't look herby. It looked like full of water. It looked lettucey. Oh no. And like a side note from that, why was the whole restaurant ready to be on BS with that man? Well, with the duck. Because
okay, like if it was a child in that costume, what are you doing? And then like they wanted to cook it, so they knew it was an animal.
Yes.
And so back to what you were saying, they were just okay with the fact that an animal is talking right now.
Yes. Because like they were like, oh, you know, this is a puppet. Are you making him say that, man? Da, 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 right. Da. And then he just started acting autonomously, and they're just like, now we're about to put you on the table and cut you up. Like, bro, what? There was such an escalation. And then like these three, I was wondering, I'm like, bro, is Cleveland just full of bullies or something? Like, what is going on here?
Also, I don't remember who it was. Oh, going back a little bit, the manager for the girl band and his friends, stuff like that, they all had like Jersey-ish accents. I'm like, bro, we're in Ohio right now. Like, where are these accents coming from? And it can't be like an 80s accent type of thing, because they would still have those accents to this day. So I'm like, what is going on here?
Maybe they're just not Cleveland natives. Maybe they came from the East Coast and they're trying to make a name for themselves in the big Ohio city.
Right. Anyways, back to the present.
Back to the present here in the 1980s. So when the whole thing's going down and Mr. Man ends up saving Howie, really to just get the ticket thing, Beverly is like, oh my goodness, Howie, like, are you okay? Like, he starts being lucid again, and then she's talking mess to Mr. what's his name?
Alien Man.
I put DL, and I know it stands for something. Dark Lord. So she's over there talking to the Dark Lord, talking all this mess. She don't got no self-defense skills. She talked too much mess for the lack of self-defense skills, bro. I'm just like, so at first I thought that she was going to be a smart girl when she was like, oh, thanks for saving me, Mr. Duck. I'm going to leave now because I don't know you. And then she took him in, and I was like, okay, maybe this is just kindness. But no, there's stupidity in there because she just talked all that mess and she don't know how to fight back. And I'm just like,
now you know exactly how I feel with these freaking early 2000s movies. It's the same thing. Like, it's the female person being annoying. Like, no!
Like, I admire your passion, baby girl, but please be smart with your life. Please be able to like put some weight behind that punch.
So annoying.
I'm trying to see, and this is why I mess with Nat, because she talked that mess and then she takes you down.
Yeah, and she got action.
She got that action. She's not scared to take it. So when Howie and the intern man get together, all right, he gets arrested. First of all,
they were flying forever, bro. I'm like, how far did they drive?
That, and then secondly, why was he at the diner? He wasn't there.
They came with the police. He came with the police, and then he got arrested. Also, when they were like, yeah, we found the duck and the guy, they were right behind you the whole night. How did you not hear or see them building an airplane? Oh, what? What do you mean right now?
Maybe they went to sleep, Nisha.
You could have arrested them 10 minutes after he left. Like, not like, even.
They, like, you saw that the man wasn't in the car. You didn't do a sweep of the perimeter. You was like, let's check in this immediate area right here.
And then you want to try to arrest them hours later when the sun is up.
Like, come on, Pookie. Well, I mean, yes, still hours, because they're like, oh, it's close to dusk, and who knows what time it was. It still was hours.
And they still needed time to build the plane and everything.
Exactly. God bless.
Ducks can't fly.
That's what he said. He was like, we got sand in my world. You know, if God wasn't intended for us to fly, he wouldn't have took our wings. I don't know, man. But I wanted to bring that up because, like, Howie didn't seem like he was the hero type back in his world. Mm-mm. And I'm just like, is Beverly really inspiring all this courage? Like, it's just like a new world, new me. Like,
I don't know if he is a hero type. I think he's just, I need to save Beverly. That's because with like the Dark Lord and stuff like that, they were still like, oh man, like stop playing around, like you're just kidding, like come on bro, this man is crazy. They weren't taking it seriously. And even when he like converted, he wasn't like, oh, I need to beat this guy up. It wasn't until like Beverly got kidnapped, he's like, I need to save the love of my life.
The lust of my life.
I need to save the world.
And so, like, but once they were getting closer to the end and they were fighting in that last scene, he mentioned something about like, oh, if I was brought here to like save the world for something and da 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 da. So, like, he does have this kind of hero complex in his brain. And maybe it's because after he saved Beverly, like, oh, if I can save baby girl, I can save the world. I admire your ambition, Howie, but just sit down.
I mean, he did.
He did. And they made a song about him because he did. He was like, I don't think that's how it went.
That's exactly how it went.
Down, down, down.
I want the
duck! Yeah! Okay. So, once they get through with that silly old chase and they open the lab, how did those cuffs get off? When did he have time to get the cuffs off his wrists?
See, this is kind of where I checked out.
I'm just like,
I was so over this movie,
an hour now. Like,
I'm like, and there's still 30 minutes left. Like, what else can you do?
Dude. And like, they're ready to bust down in there, and I'm just like, what's the plan? What is your course of action? That
heroes don't ever have a plan.
They just vibe and then they win. This is a lesson, kids. Just vibe.
Quote of the summer.
Every day. So then, when we're watching the Dark Lord work, and baby girl's on the table, he's about to
blow her up.
Basically.
With demons.
Dang, that's messed up. A little side note, jumping into the future, when they were coming down, it was 3 of them coming down. Was all 3 about to go up in her? Pause. But, like,
that's what she said.
Concerned. What? All 3? I don't know.
There's not. That's really inappropriate.
There are 3 orifices. On brand for this movie. Okay? It's your fault, Steve. It's your fault. Steve, you freaky frog. Okay, so, right. The Dark Lord, I was like, wow, he must be like the smartest one on the team. They had to send him first to bring everybody else down because, like, how do he know what to do the machine?
They are like,
not the Dark Lords of the universe.
But they're like,
we have all the knowledge.
Yeah, they're like Hades type. Okay, Hades is a god. They're like, you know what I mean?
Like a demigods kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And now, see, like, I think about that, and I also wonder, is it because, he took over the doctor, so, like, he got the doctor's memories, kind of like, spoiler, in Captain Marvel. When the green people, when they copy somebody, they can
right,
copy their
right.
Mm-hmm.
That's not that big of a spoiler. We don't need anything right there. That's just like knowledge.
Right. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't ruin the movie.
It does not.
Anyways.
But yeah, so when the Dark Lord was shooting his beam at the intern and he grabbed the shield, I'm like, Captain Intern? Question mark?
I believe this is where I checked out.
Is it? Yeah, because I have no idea what
I don't. But I mean, Captain America. This is what we were talking about last episode. Like,
he's the main guy.
He's the man.
He is the poster character,
which is so interesting because he doesn't even start like that's Marvel off.
That's what we were talking about in that last other episode,
which you should watch after this episode.
Okay,
after you finish this one, watch this one all the way.
Keep up with the conversations. Or listen. All of the above. But like we were saying about this conversation before, it's like they kind of want to paint Iron Man as the main guy for our reality. However, in the MCU reality, the real main guy is Captain America. He's always been that guy. Even like in Tony's backstory lore, it's always been this beautiful, wonderful super soldier that his daddy created in a tube. And it's like, you created me in a tube, your biological tube. You don't want to love me. You don't want to support me.
You created me in the tube.
Like, come on, man. Wasn't that love? So inappropriate. That's just life. The circle of life.
Oh, I completely forgot.
Tell me your nose.
This is going back again. When they were going, like, this is so stupid. You can cut this out. When they were going their separate ways in the beginning, where it's like, I don't need you. I thought of High School Musical, I Gotta Go My Own Way. That song, and I started singing it, and it matched perfectly. They should have put that in there. They should have went to the future.
I was just like, oh, if only
recorded the song and then went back.
Zac Efron probably not alive yet. Anyway, though, so after the after the explosion, like he was shooting all the rays, and he got Mr. Man knocked out, and then he blew up the thing, and then it back. Wow.
Yeah, this isn't even the end, bro. I'm like, we're getting to the end. We're finally finishing this movie.
There's
still like 10 minutes left.
But
like,
we are getting to the end. We're almost there.
Please.
Okay. So I was like, what if they started looking for him and just started smelling like fried chicken or something?
Fried duck.
Exactly. I was just like, I put cooked bird.
Also, when he was freaking out about the egg, bro, that's a chicken egg. Like,
I mean,
cannibalism? That's not cannibalism. That's a different bird.
But that's still egg, nonetheless.
And chickens eat their own eggs all the time.
True, but he's not a chicken.
Exactly.
He's a duck.
Exactly.
And he don't go around eating eggs. He like, baby, that's me.
It's not.
I came from that. That's my cousin. I can't go around eating my cousin's dead babies.
They're not even dead. Like, they're not fertilized.
No, they're not. I know, okay, but Howard doesn't know.
And he has a PhD.
He don't. He dropped out, remember?
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Damn. Anyways.
Man. Okay, but this is where I checked out, when the monster emerged from the grate and like they were kind of fighting it. I kind of like mentally checked out of the fight, but when the parts of that I was registering, I'm like, I don't know, like I kind of like this old CGI. I kind of was talking about this in the beginning, but it's just like this old kind of like CGI puppeteering type of animation that they're using. Like I kind of like it because like they use some real life elements and like they implement that into the animation and CGI, and I thought that was kind of cool. And I was like, I kind of like that. Maybe I should watch some more older videos that like are sci-fi. I feel like it could be entertaining.
Star Wars.
I don't know about that because it's a
Lord
whole
of the
series.
Rings.
See, they got too many movies in there.
Well, you don't have to watch all of them. You just watch the first one.
Right. No,
I've never seen those. And I'm suggesting that.
I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay just sticking
or you can watch
lane.
like those old cowboy movies.
Right, cowboys and the aliens, and they got crazy.
Oh, I just meant like Western cowboys. Like,
but that's not gonna have the sci-fi CGI.
Yeah, I know.
Right. Just, pew,
oh
pew.
right, CGI.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I feel like Cowboys is racist. Old Cowboys. Not like, in general. Just that, like, the movies. I can't just go around saying that all types of people is racist.
Defend on the Cowboys. Cowboy community. What you say about me? What you say about my mama?
Nothing, man.
Nothing, man.
Don't come count my boy.
The only thing I wrote down during this ending scene was that they look like a giant scorpion.
Yes, they definitely look like an anthropod. Scorpions, lobsters.
Sure. And then I put play I Need a Hero. I need a hero. Anyways.
Okay, the last thing that I wrote here for this movie.
Finally.
I'm hosting, okay? I have to have words to say. Dude, the wormhole was giving, at the time I didn't know the name, the rainbow beam from Thor, aka the Bifrost.
Like, yes.
Spoiler, when they're going to nowhere. I don't think it's nowhere. No, it's definitely not nowhere. But when they went to the trash planet in Ragnarok and they were like in the beams.
Is that nowhere?
I don't think that is nowhere. Because nowhere is where I want to touch on this because I have a closing thoughts little paragraph. But nowhere is where Guardians of the Galaxy went to meet up in Doodle-Doo with the guy who had like all the things and the pink lady.
Pink lady.
You don't remember the pink lady?
Nah.
So you probably not gonna remember what I'm gonna say either when I come up next. But
probably not.
Yeah, that was Howard the Duck, y'all.
I mean, there was also a song at the end.
There was. I mean, I didn't really feel nothing about that. It didn't.
Me
really
neither. I was like, okay, when is this song gonna be over?
Right, like it's like, oh, right, like there was.
Oh, right, nothing.
Oh, right. That hasn't been. So it's fine. Okay, but yeah, it was just like, right, he saved the world. They made a song. Like, oh, I love this duck, and like the girlies on stage was falling over. I'm just like, these girls got to be drunk. The crowd got to be drunk to just be like, oh yes, Howard the Duck. I'm like, what is going on here? Is no one else got to be tripping balls? It's the 80s. Everyone's on acid.
Well, I mean, they're in like a bar, coke. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure. Cleveland. Wow. You go down in Cleveland.
OH. People say IO.
IO.
That's what they say down there.
Oh. I know that. I'm not from around them parts.
Me neither.
So how you know that's what they say?
Because I be paying attention to people on the webs.
Right. They could be lying to you.
They're not.
If you're from Ohio,
fact check me.
I dare you. But to wrap this all up, I think that this was a nice little bow. And a nice, cute little bow. I think this was a silly little movie. No need for context. No need for contacts. My country ass. No need for context. No need for context or a follow up. Okay.
And definitely not.
Okay, but
like a cute little series would have been nice.
I have something to say about that a little bit later. But like I can imagine this being a comic because it's so wacky, but also like
wacky quacky.
Mm-hmm. I do want to be fair though and just say like I haven't read many comics to like be familiar with more serious ones if there are more serious ones, but I definitely could see this like I don't know being a news
like
strip,
in the newspaper.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering like how this translated to the comics because I feel like the comic would be way better than this movie was.
Me too.
Maybe Steve's vision just didn't like land.
Yeah, like Howard and Steve's vision I feel like could have been I don't know. Because if we hold on, I don't want to get to that part yet because I do have something to say about that. Continuing on though, definitely it could have been worse.
It could have been worse.
It could have been worse. I definitely think that they like the jokes could have been worse and more like, you know,
I laughed a few times.
Yeah, you know.
On one hand.
Not too much though. Can't give you too much credit. Same thing like with the black jokes and stuff. Like they were interesting. I'm not really sure if I loved them. Like when
I missed those.
The semi truck, when they were in the semi truck and they were pushing the cars and like the black guy stuck his neck up. Yeah, my neck hurt. I'm just like,
oh, I didn't see that.
That's interesting. Why they got that man acting like that in this movie? And like at first, when I first saw it, I was like, but then I was kind of thinking, I'm like, okay, like what if there were black writers involved in this and like and then I looked at the director and I was like, nah, probably not.
1986. That would have been a huge role. Like I feel like this would have been talked about a little more if there was a black writer.
But also, when I was looking this movie up, apparently this movie did not do very well when it first came out. This is a surprise,
obviously.
And but since then it has gained a quote unquote cult following, and I don't know if I really like
it. Has 2.2 stars on Letterboxd. So,
according to Google, it made like 38 some. I don't know. I did some millions of dollars that it made in the box office.
I did read though that people watch it as like their guilty pleasure type thing. So it's not like I'm watching this because this is the best movie ever. It's like comfort. Like I need something to watch. I'm gonna put this on.
And diving back into like this reality that he's in, I wonder if he fell into the same earth that the MCU is in, because this is a little bit of a spoiler, but in Guardians of the Galaxy, when they go to nowhere and they meet up with the white-haired man and the pink lady.
Oh yeah, he's there.
And
I want to say no.
I want to say no too, because that Howard looked different. Of course, you know, this is years in the future, so like CGI is better.
But also like the characteristics of that Howard is different. Like this one's kind of like goofy and like silly. So I feel like that one's more like mob boss. Like he has like the red suit on, and like whatever. Because like liquid
baby boy had the red suit on too when he first got there. So I'm thinking like maybe life could have toughened him up, you know, like shown him some hardship, because he was in a cage. Why would he be goofy? He in a cage. Like, ain't nothing funny, baby. I'm locked up. Ain't shit funny.
Ain't nothing funny. Is this?
Yes, going.
Okay, There's can't see.
Dot. It's okay. But according to Google, his occupation is a private investigator. So I was just like, I would have liked to, like, going back to, like, you know, we don't necessarily need to follow up. I would to like have seen like some kind of short connecting him to the MCU, because when I looked up the character and I looked up how many movies he's in, it shows that he's in all of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies and in the Infinity War. So I'm just like, if he has shown up in 3 movies and then had 1 movie all to himself, like, is he going to show up again?
I think the character is like in the MCU because it's part of the comics, but I think the movie itself, it's like you were saying earlier, it's like a one-off, like a spin-off.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that the movie is in the MCU at all.
Yeah, I don't, at least with Kevin, I don't see him integrating this character that much. I feel, what was I gonna say? I also feel like it's like not canon because Steve isn't a part of this film, and Steve is a part of the MCU. Like the MCU is Steve's. This is from not Steve, Stan.
I was like, Steve.
Stan. Steve. Dude, Stan isn't part of this movie. It's Steve's. Stan didn't make this character.
Right.
Steve did. So, like, I think they just pulled him as, like, extra stuff to put into the MCU, but I don't think it'll be, like,
a big thing.
This big canon event. Unless this movie gets, like, more popular, then Kevin might, like, get the money grab. But yeah, I think from their point of view, they're looking at the comics.
Yeah.
Versus the movie.
All right. Rating time. How many Infinity Stones do you give him? Howard the Duck.
So yeah, it's not a bad movie. Would I watch it again? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I was just like, I probably wouldn't watch this again.
I think two. I'd give it to those big, nice, juicy Infinity Stones.
Those beautiful, glowing stones. Definitely kind of boring, but it was creative. So, like, I could give it 2 stones for that. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That wraps it up. You know, honestly, if you want to just watch this episode and not watch the movie, that is perfect.
Definitely not worth paying for.
Definitely not. It on Amazon $3.79.
Really?
Yeah.
On Google it was saying like 2 something. Yeah, so don't watch it.
Don't waste your time.
Don't recommend.
Just have a little bit of fun with us here on this episode.
Yeah, just watch this episode and then watch it again on Spotify. Well, if you're on Spotify, watch it again on YouTube.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your views. Oh. And let's close it out.
Okay, yeah.
So thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, steps. Okay.
You gotta cut that out. In the boobs.
And in the boobs. Very, actually on brand.
On brand.
Steve and Howard with they freaky frogs. For reference, Mr. Meadow is behind the camera right now. And he's...
Don't put that
in. Being silly. Okay. No, seriously though. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We are very appreciative of all of your support and your love. Okay. And our socials will be down in the description box below. Make sure you follow. Please like. Please subscribe. I don't know what it is on Spotify. Is it like just add us to your like
Follow.
Yeah, follow.
Rate the podcast on Spotify. You can also leave comments. Comment down below if you watched Howard the Duck and if you liked it and if you didn't like it.
And how many Infinity Stones would you give it?
Yes.
Yeah. And
that's it, man.
Anything? Yeah. No. Make sure you have already watched all of our last 3 episodes. Okay, this is episode number 4.
Yeah.
Are you on?
What are you doing?
Like, cause
go back.
We're only getting what? Bigger and better. She don't even know her line. We've been practicing this for how many weeks now? You're only getting bigger and better from here.
If you want to see our evolution, go back to the very beginning, and then stay tuned. We're posting in 2 weeks again. I'm pretty sure Iron Man 2.
We're pretty sure.
If it's not, you should still watch it anyways, because you know it's gonna be great.
Exactly. But yeah,
let's close. I'm getting hot and sweaty.
Right. Peace and love.